Hello, welcome to this video on aggregate demand. Here we have a new model right here. Uh, in the y-axis, we have the price level that shows us the average prices in the economy. And we have here in the x-axis, real GDP that shows us the total production of the economy. And now we have aggregate demand, which is the spending on everything in the economy. We can see here that an increase in the price level from A to B is shown by an upwards movement along the aggregate demand curve. And this is going to lead to a lower real GDP demanded. On the other hand, a decrease in the price level, shown by this movement from A to B right here, is a downwards movement along the aggregate demand curve. And this is going to lead to a higher real GDP demanded. When we're looking at aggregate demand, is tracking all of the spending in our economy. So aggregate demand, which we're going to say AD, is all about spending in our economy. What things affect spending? Well, incomes. So incomes can be changed by people working or the government taxing or providing welfare. Loans, you could take out a loan to spend money. And this is the amount people borrow is impacted by interest rates, and the amount businesses borrow is also impacted by interest rates. Finally, we have exchange rates. This is people around the world, international trade. Where in the world people spend their money is impacted by prices, where things are more expensive and cheaper, as well as exchange rates. Now, these things impacts those who spend money in our economy. The people, businesses, our government, and foreigners all spend money in our economy. If there's less spending in our economy, then the aggregate demand curve is going to shift to the left. And if there's more spending in our economy, then the aggregate demand curve is going to shift to the right. That's all for this lesson. See you next time.